You there. Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lodge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. But it's possible it's just hidden somewhere, sir. Eek! If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside the case, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or is still at the real crime scene. There is one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time the glass pane in the door was broken. Okay, so this is when they're gonna pivot and they're gonna blame Miss Tenaire. But oh my, wait, there's just a roving band of children on bikes outside. Oh no! The pandemic pack, as I'm going to refer to them. That was a lot of kids. The bike gangs, it started. Society is collapsing. And it was at that time that the glass pane in the door was broken. Oh. F in the chat, I guess. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see. So that means that the killer had the key to the display case. Francisca, the person you're talking about. Not so fast. I'm not to finish. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She's gonna also accuse us of theft. She's gonna be like, that person stole the key. Oh, no wait, never mind. She tricked the captain. They're still... they are pivoting. And granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wished to speak with her. Yes. Very well. Permission granted. But only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her. But you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Miss Tenaire... It's like I say Tenaire, but it's like Tenaro. Miss Tenaro is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Into the room. This is so dramatic. So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Miss Tenaro. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too. Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? All right. Yes, tell me about why you did what you did. Also, do you want to see my badge? Here, look at it. So shiny. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I don't know how to answer you. She doesn't want my badge. As a professional flight attendant, I'm a failure. I mean, you know what? She could go into hairdressery. Have you seen her cube bun? Her cubed bun? It's a mystery. She must be worn out from the long questioning session she just went through. Yeah, I'm sad too she doesn't want my badge. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Oh, look at all those dots. Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. I mean, look at my uniform. It's closed. Unlike Camilla's, whose has that open uniform. She can get anything she wants from the captain. What do you mean? The captain? Oh wait, I was joking. He only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Milla. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Like, look at it. You get a perfect angle. Look at those cubes. They're just like squares. And a triangle at the end. It just doesn't abide by any laws of hair. Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tenero, is it? Yes, the cubes. There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please, answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, Why the sudden hesitation? Francisca seems to have struck a nerve. Tell us. Tell us with your cubed hair. All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes. I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. Miss Tenero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. Oh, what thing? What do I have? That's not gonna work. World famous export of Virginia. Maybe this will have some. For there to be this much blood, the victim had to be wrapped up in it. It's fairly famous. Wonder if it has like a name tag on it. No, that would be too much of a giveaway. Like, I am the murderer. Camilla. What could give her away? I'm gonna present to her the suitcase, since that's the only thing I can think is connected to her. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenero. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about this suitcase. You are the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? Oh, there's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? We've saddened her. Yes, well, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional, I'm not supposed to care. But I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see it was the last one there. Oh, she sees it was the last one there, which means it wasn't there when she went to check it out. The last one there. So that's some testimony. So you're saying, Miss Tenero, that the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes, they're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves. And that's not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. She's like twitching. Look at her face. It's twitching. Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. Then say you'll buy it. You will buy my suitcase. You have no choice. I am no longer asking. I'm sorry. I can't. But why? I think it would go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. Okay, this is actually very hilarious if she is undercover, because she's basically saying, it suits us because it's so awful looking. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. Well, that is... How should I put this? It's hideous. Master of Tact Edgeworth. What? Maybe that was a bit too direct. Edgeworth is like, I don't know how to speak to people. And I mean, on accident. Moving on, my main issue with the suitcase isn't the design. It's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like her story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could the meaning of this be the meaning of this inconsistency? I mean, that means that's when the murder took place. By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? I thought you said there was only 1 left. That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. She's used it for a very long time. I think not. You left the price tag on. That's Noob Move 101. Miss Tenero, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe you for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. It's the price tag. Unless that's not a price tag. I'm also gonna save my state. Tell me, Miss Tenero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? Ah. What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales number made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Miss Tenero, I think I understand. I know what you are trying to hide. Now then, the suitcase was originally in the in-flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought this suitcase was herself. She's buying it because she wants to inflate the prices. It was you, wasn't it, Miss Tenero? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling. And we're deeply hurt. Edgeworth is like not holding back. He's just ripping this girl to shreds. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then, the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something. Oh no! Don't worry, you're the best flight attendant in this game I know. But the suitcases didn't sell. It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it's, as you put it, hideous, and not because they're selling luggage on an airplane. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there, collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked. How is she making any money? Girl's gonna go broke. You buy one every single time you work a flight? I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Like, big item spender, but ouch. And yes, and here is my receipt for that purchase. Wait, who did she give the money to then? 'Cause, I mean, did she just work the cashier herself? Or was someone else working the cashier? The receipt is clearly time-stamped. 5:40 a.m. Alright, so that means the other person was moving the body at 5:40. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Miss Tenero, where are these other suitcases? She's buying them. Yeah, just smoothing it out. She's got, I mean, I work as a cashier. Sometimes, if there is an item that has been opened that's gonna get trashed, sometimes they're like, I will not see if you take home that pint of ice cream. I'm just saying. They should all be down in the cargo hold. Then the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, You don't think the killer used one of my suitcases to... Yes, I do. In fact, that is the only thing we're certain about. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases that you probably have 1,000,000 of at this point to move the victim's body. Ah, how could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be. Honestly, this has done so much to convince me that my theory of her being in disguise was wrong, because she's way too invested in these suitcases. Miss Tenero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is just through that door there. Okay, so maybe that's what happened. The Cammy went through the door to the cargo hold and killed the guy in the elevator. And then she goes to go up, and uh-oh, Tenero's there, dragging in her new suitcase that she has so many of. And Cammy's like, I know I can't let her see this suitcase, because she'll know I'll have a suitcase, and she knows I would never buy one in 1,000,000 years, so she has to go through the elevator and drag the other suitcase back. But oh no, when she does, there's a guy in the lounge, so now she's in a tricky scenario where she's trying to frame the murder on a bunch of different people. The only other way is just through that door there. And what about security? That door has no special lock installed because, just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to. Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Yes, Francisca? Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Karma name. And what do you mean by that? The suitcases came from the cargo hold? That fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card. Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. She's gonna say, how did the guy, Hicks get downstairs then? That other attendant, Miss Miller. I asked her earlier, and she had this to say. Francisca got information out of Miss Miller? In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required. A different one? Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. Ah! Wah! What? Is that true, Miss Tenero? Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times. Could you please show us that card right now? Yes, hold on. Ooh, is it missing? Ah, I don't believe it. What's wrong? It's missing. The key card. It's gone. Hahaha. Very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen, when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You've really thought this through, and I'm definitely not going to admit that it was probably stolen. Wait, it's not like that. You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Edgeworth. No, Stop them! No, we just watched her get taken away. What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Francisca, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However, hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies, and you still need to play our cross-examination minigame. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I'm gonna go down there too. I intend to do likewise. Oh man, they gave us another to be continued. This is long. But I'm determined to end this tonight. Because I want to end this tonight. Because I'm very much enjoying this. I also need to get prepared for a PowerPoint party tomorrow, though. I'm gonna do mine about, I don't know if anyone's heard of this, but Simba King Lion, the Italian TV show, that might sound like a famous movie some of us know. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? It's so big! Thanks, Gumshoe. Glad to have you along. This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and ultra luxurious first-class seating. So, is this the real scene of the murder? There is certainly a high probability of that. Which is why we are here, correct? Okay, well let's get investigating, sir. Alright, time to check this bad boy out. There's a regular suitcase. If I can get to the spot. There we go. Hey, what's with this suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So this suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we take a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, a file. And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. Odd. It looks like a profile on Francisca. That's very odd. Very odd indeed. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. That sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Absolute savage Miles Edgeworth. My bad. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. Holy pineapples, Batman. Or whatever Robin says. It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. These must be all the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this flight is over. I mean, on the bright side, if Miss Tenero wants to look at it, these would have gone trashed either way, even if they were selling well, because they would have had a huge publicity tanking after being used as a murder item. Or as you could say, an accessory to murder. That might be a stretch. Oh wait, I skipped that dialogue. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness. You think so? Then maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200. Oh my goodness, I think it was more than just the design. I think I'll pass. And Miss Tenero wonders why they don't sell. You need 2 jobs just to buy one. Yeah, no, she's broke. Unless she's stealing those bad boys, she's broke. It definitely looks like one is missing. What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? Is it a bunch of glass fragments from the glasses? I'm gonna logic that up right now. Let me apply my big boy galaxy brain to connect these dots. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. That's like $100 on the floor right now, if he's lucky. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses lens. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I expected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the possibility has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Yeah, what's the murder weapon? I wonder, I don't know, I don't have any idea what the murder weapon is yet. But I'm sure we'll find it. All sorts of boxes are piled up on here. This one says flammable, and this one, it says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism use only. Where is this going to? Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Ah, it's obviously going to the courtroom, where exorcisms are needed to be conducted in only the most important cases. Hey, Francisca. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And then you immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at the airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. Hey, Francisca. I bet your badge isn't as cool as mine. There's something much more urgent we should be dealing with right now. No, I'm gonna flex on you with my cooler badge. Don't waste my time or yours. I've been following a very large and involved government-level international crime. Oh, is this gonna be the, maybe the trafficking of cocoons? But it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Yeah, she might be trying to crack down on the cocoons from Apollo Justice. Interpol is involved? It's a top secret operation, so I really can't tell you any more than I already have. Yeah, I'm assuming it might be that. Also, this person was the Interpol agent. Maybe Cammy then. Maybe she's trafficking cocoons. She has the same motive as Crescendo or Sharkman, for any of you who don't remember that name that I probably was wrong about. Why would Miss Hicks have documents profiling Francisca? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Francisca said that she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Miss Hicks had heard she was coming here, and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was in actuality Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Francisca has some explaining to do. Hey Francisca, we figured out this was an Interpol agent. Now tell us everything. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense. What are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you and the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Isn't that correct? I should have known you would have figured it out, Miles. But it looks like they got to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. It's the cocoons, guys. It's always about the cocoons. He went to undercover to investigate this crime. And it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed, and that's what the cloth was about. Maybe the cocoons were hidden with the cloth in one of the suitcases in the cargo. And so perhaps the Interpol agent went to the cargo hold to search through this luggage to try and find cocoons. He finds the cocoons, and Cammy's like, darn, he's found my cocoons. I gotta get rid of him. So she gets rid of him. But now she's got a problem, because she has a dead body and a bunch of cocoons. And she can't get caught with either of those. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think now we have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Ow! Agent Hicks came down here for a work-related reason. Of that I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francisca, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No, unfortunately I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see, but this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew. Cammy. And Cammy realizes, she's like, oh no, he's looking for my cocoons. But he can't get his hands on my cocoons. And then she murdered him. And entered the cargo hold with the person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then The killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases, and they entered the elevator. But while they were riding it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open, and Agent Hicks' body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. Nice, I got full health again. Now I have leeway to be super wrong. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero. Okay, here's our cross-examination minigame. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Miss Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is that the key card that allows the elevator to come down here. They didn't have to come down the elevator. They could have gone up the elevator without using the key card. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? Who's singing in the background? That might be talking. That might be my family. They're a little loud. I'm so sorry. I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that. So, very sorry if you pick up on my family at all. I am home. Possibly till the end of the semester for school. Which is gonna be a lot. Let's see. Also, they have some device running now, and I'm not sure what device it is. Oh, it's a drill. It's definitely a drill. Darn. Okay. The point to keep in mind is that the elevator I'm gonna press, but it's highly likely that the key card was stolen from Miss Tenero. It's highly likely? Is that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father? Yeah. Oh man, she actually hit him with the whip. That's like... Wow. Yeah, well, I don't have any evidence, Be quiet, you're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda, you know. It's not just the key card that gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon? The Mr. I-Fly piggy bank? Yes. She is also the only one with a key to open that display case. Alright. Let's see if we can get something about that. Doing an in-flight. Made a brief stop from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. to transfer cargo and refuel at the transfer point. Taken out of its display case in the inflate shop after the turbulence. But that is a fake. Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real weapon, and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon? Maybe the body, because maybe we're focusing on it being... I'm gonna say the body. Or because, like, if there's clearly 2 marks in the head, it's clear that there was a fake second hit. Francisca, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh? Was I? Yes, we don't even have the autopsy results yet. Yeah, see? Oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing the updated autopsy report, guys. Finally. Oh, how the tables have turntabled. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see? If the wound on Agent Hicks' head is consistent with the murder weapon. Scruffy? Yes, sir. Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks' autopsy. Eek! Yes, sir.